That's me. I ain't really hiding from nobody. People, we're gonna turn this around if I can. Try to get a little bit of a better view. Something better for you to look at. Well, of course my phone is playing difficult. No, I don't need no filter. We're unfiltered here. Difficult to do this. You know, I'm holding my coffee cup. I'm working on this here. Is it working now? Looks like it's trying to. There we go. Sorry about that, people. It took a second. I'm sitting here messing with my coffee. Maybe that's got me a little bit riled up. I didn't want to really do a live, but hey, somebody's got to speak on this crap. Somebody's got to speak up for truckers, right? Ohio's done lost their mind, I guess. Who knows if it's endemic of other states too. But hey, I'm just here at the truck stop. Okay. And what I got on my mind right now is, are we now kibbles and bits for the freaking DOT to come and eat us up with police dogs? Now, yeah, that dude, he did run for 10 miles. He said he was scared. He was new. Maybe he was looking for a place to park. Maybe he didn't see the guy behind him. They tried to say he made eye contact with him. That'll come to fruition whether that happened or not. And it'll also come to fruition whether the truth will come out about whether he made eye contact, not just for the DOT cop. And sometimes those cars don't even look right. I've seen them use dualies and pickup trucks with different names on them with lights. But I'm gonna say this: if it's gotten to where a mud flap right here gets you eat up with a police dog, that's messed up. Okay. Now, I'm gonna say this: on the back of the vehicle, it's required. You don't have to have it on the tractor. Okay, but if you drop your trailer, then you have to have it. That's the law. There's people that actually can't run them, and that's a Schneider egg. If that hatches, we're all in trouble. I'm just saying though, if the back of the vehicle has a flap, you're legal. See how he's got two different ones? I thought about making some up, making some mud flaps. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. You see how he's got two different mud flaps on his tractor? If you're like that, you gotta have one on the back of your vehicle, right? But if you're hooked to a trailer like this guy, you just gotta have it on the back there. So, like when Left Eye Lopez died, the NASCAR drivers all had a line under the light. If y'all wanna support that guy, maybe drop a mud flap on one side of the tractor, as long as you hook to a trailer, not bobtailing. Some places don't even let you do that, right? I'll tell you, that's one way to go to make a statement. Another way to go is I'm gonna make some mud flaps up that says, if his hands are up, don't release the dogs. If his hands are up, don't release the dogs. If his hands are up, I'll just let him get bit up. You know, what can you do? So my question is, are they training those dogs that if the hands of a person are up, that they're still allowed to bite them? What kind of a command had to be given to a dog to go against its protocol and what it's been taught to make it bite somebody if they don't teach that, or if they teach them, well, once their hands are up, don't bite? If anybody's a canine handler, let me know. Otherwise, we've got some very dangerous animals out there, dangerous to truck drivers, that they're hauling around in cars that might hurt us, even if they don't give the right command, or for what, I mean, seriously, do they need to not use the hellhounds, okay, those police dogs, do they not need to use those around truck drivers? You see, because we're a safe stop anyway. That guy complied. He had his hands over his head. Maybe he didn't get on the ground, whatever. I'm gonna say this though, we're a safe stop. You know, unless somebody is taking a truck and did something crazy, you know what I mean? It's a safe stop. How about making us a safe stop? How about if the supply line gets a little respect for us being here while y'all get to go home at night and sleep in beds? Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to speak my mind? People, we can't be on the same team and have the offense attack the defense, right? That's my thoughts on that. Now, where I'm at on this is now they've got us psychologically bent over a barrel where we're like, well, man, I need to make sure I got my mud flaps. You know, man, I need to make sure my tires are good. Man, you know what I mean? Got a flat spot on a tire or something going on. This guy here's got one here. Of course, this truck's been here for a good hot minute, but you know, it's been drugged. But if you got a flat spot on your tire, you gotta get tires. Why? You might get beat up by the dog. Is that what we're under now? Are we under threat of dog attack? I had my face ripped off when I was a kid by a dog. Y'all think I'm playing? That's real. So here's my question. You think I'm gonna let a dog chew me up? Most guys ain't. That guy took a lot of restraint to sit there and take a dog attack. But then that's an officer. They consider those dogs officers. So if you defend yourself against that, then that's obstruction of an officer. If you kill that dog, then you done killed an officer. Right? In their eyes. And it makes sense, but kind of in the same sense, when is the dog wrong? So that's two officers that was wrong that day. One is the handler that let him loose. Okay, the other guy's sitting there telling him don't do that. The other is the dog itself. That dog does not need to be an officer no more. That dog's done tasted blood and it's okay to hold your hands up. No, that dog needs to go. Not all dogs, but maybe if you see this, maybe you won't see it as a threat. Maybe if you see these, maybe you won't see it as a threat. Maybe that's the supply line. This is a message from the supply line. We're out here trying to supply food and everything else, you know, world of COVID and everything else. And I'm just saying, is that what we're under, is threat of bite by dog if we don't stop fast enough? Because who's to judge and say, well, that was 10 miles he ran. Well, maybe he didn't see the guy and I guess he stopped and then he left, or whatever that craziness was about. I don't know. But so here's the magical question. How many miles do we get? Because I've always taught people to go to a safe place to park, the nearest safest place to park on the side of the road that you can get your big 70-foot land yacht, truck and trailer, and give room for an officer behind you so they don't get their shoes muddy. So here's where I'm at. Are we now under threat of a dog bite because it's important for us to have a mud flap? You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. A mud flap. That piece of rubber behind the tire that we don't even need it on the tractor, but the point is, people, it's gotten stupid. We're dealing with enough. We don't need the stress. And how am I supposed to tell drivers, hey, come and be a truck driver and I'll teach you what I know, when you got drivers getting eat up by dogs? How are we supposed to haul freight to Ohio if people are like, man, if I go to Ohio, I'll get eat up by a dog? This has created a whole mess. Now at this point, it's national security. Because you can take, Russia can take that video and say, look here, we don't even treat our citizens that way, and they're right. China can do the same thing. Look at what America does to their people. The ones bringing them food, they send the dogs on them. No weapon, he was unarmed. So, what am I doing? I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So I'm taking on a couple tires, but I just happen to notice, you know, pre-trip wise. Let's see here. It's going to be a little loud. That's why I did most of this over there. Check it out, people. I need a mud flap. Now, I've got a delivery to make, but you know what? They're gonna have to wait. Why? Why is that delivery gonna have to wait? So if you're needing food, and these drivers start doing this thing where it's like, hey, listen, I gotta take care of this first, I'm sorry, whatever, right? They start doing this thing where, hey, look, I need a mud flap. Like that one over there. I need a mud flap. When these companies start saying, man, we got all these delays from all these drivers, they need a mud flap. You know, hashtag I need a mud flap. Maybe hashtag, you know, if his hands are up, don't release the dog. Hashtag we're the supply line. That's a safe stop. He's already been checked out because he's already got a CDL. I mean, seriously? Whatever the situation was, there was no reason to escalate over a dang mud flap. They all know it's wrong. Even the officer on the scene telling him no knows it's wrong. And he was in the right trying to tell the guy to stop, but just didn't do anything. So in that way, really, who's the grown up in the room, man? Who's the command? Who has command? Is there no structure? Is there no command? Somebody's got to be in command, not just in charge. Words mean nothing now. And they're cutting off their hand despite their face, because now, how am I supposed to tell everybody, hey, we're on the same team with, you know, law enforcement does this and keeps the country safe, and then we bring food? How can I tell them that? I can't. I can't tell them come be a truck driver. It's all over the news what happens when you're a truck driver. So he made mistakes. Yeah, the guy made mistakes. Was they bad enough mistakes to get eat up by a dog? No. Was there any reason for that? No. Over a mud flap. And that's not even that's not even as far as safety goes. That's revenue. Because a mud flap is regulated not by the DOT. There's no DOT law that says anything about a mud flap. Each state is individually different, and it's up to them to enforce the law about mud flaps. In case y'all don't know, there's nothing in the rule book that says that they do this. It's up to each individual state, because each individual state wanted separate rules. So some states, they want them 6 inches to a foot, no more than a third up the mud flap, height wise. At the back of the vehicle, you don't really have to have them on the tractor if you're connected, and some companies actually take them off. And the thing is, a lot of the metal bars are breaking anyhow, so you lose them when you don't even know you lost them. Them little spring-loaded bars that come on Freightliners, just an angle piece of square metal. It's a mess, people. It's a mess. So, at what point did we become the enemy as the supply line? Well, I think it had something to do with, well, evidently, times are so tough they need to make revenue. I don't know. But somehow we're the enemy now. And we gotta watch everything, because now they'll call in the dogs on us. There's gonna be people that's gonna say it ain't worth trucking no more, and there's gonna be people that say I'm not gonna be a truck driver because of this, or that's not worth my time, especially because they're gone a lot. I can tell you there's a lot of things going on where officers mess around with people's wives while they're gone on the road. They're supposed to be protecting and serving, and they're serving all right, but it ain't protecting. And so while we're doing everything, we're being attacked from all corners, people. Attacked from all angles. We're under attack, and we're surrounded. There's that. Kind of difficult for me to bring you a good message on a bad subject. I'll say that God's in control, and it's going to end up good for that guy. He's going to get money, but in the end, he's still going to have trauma about dogs. There's gonna be some people that's gonna get attacked by dogs, and they're gonna rip them into pieces, and there won't be nothing left of them. They need to tone down their dog policy. I don't think it's even necessary with a truck. Maybe they need better communication. You know. So that guy was unarmed. He made some mistakes. But at the point where he had his hands on his head, he was already in custody. That's in custody. That guy, come on. Anybody wants to make any comments, say anything, whatever. Maybe I'll make some Mudflaps up and put them up at the I-80 truck stop, and then y'all could just pick them up for free. I'll design them, and then if however many I make, they get given away or what, you can make more. The design will be open for anybody. Have an outline of that guy with the dog coming at his kibbles and bits, and then freaking say, if his hands are up, don't release the dog. What can you say? I'll put a link up to the video in case y'all don't know what I'm talking about, but it made national news. It's so bad you got moms and grandmoms contacting the government saying, my this and that is a truck driver. You know, son, brother, uncle, cousin, my grandfather was, all this. And that's how you treat them. Now, they needed to de-escalate. I think part of it was all the shouting of commands and stuff. But those dogs should have been trained that if somebody's hands up, that they're not allowed to bite. I mean, something's just not right. That was vindictive. That was malicious. That guy wanted to prove something or hurt that guy. The guy with the dog. So, if there's any canine handlers out there, maybe you could tell us, do you actually train the dog that if a person's hands are up, they're not supposed to attack? Is that a fair thing to say that they should train those dogs to? Should those dogs be used in a situation where a truck driver's involved? This guy's fixing to be famous. I can't help but people be in my video. We should be famous. So, we're on the same page, people. What page am I on? Maybe I'm on a whole different chapter. God bless you. I'm gonna get off this thing. I got to ride. I'm gonna take care of this stuff. Get out of here. Get going down the road, and hopefully they don't release the dogs on me, because we're all outlaws. God bless you, people. I'm out. Peace.